You're looking for KLCC property but worry no tourists going to stay in your unit? This video is for you. We're going to dive into Malaysia Tourism Statistic 2024, break down the real and verified figure by the tourism of Malaysia. Most importantly, to show you who is coming, how often, and why KLCC is still the best place to invest. Visitor arrival to Malaysia. Back in 2023, there's almost around 28.9 million visitor arrived to Malaysia, but in 2024, increased almost 31% and lead to 37.9 million visitors to Malaysia. That's huge increase, like 31%. That's a lot. Monthly visitor arrived to Malaysia. From here, we actually break down each of the month. From here, we can see that during the month in December will be the highest, followed by August and July. Why December which got the highest visitor? First thing is definitely because of school holiday. I mean, like nation country like Singapore, India, China, all these major countries, they're having a school holiday. So usually when a parent want to plan a trip, then definitely have to make sure the student is on holiday. They only can bring them to a trip for December. Then another thing will be the public holiday. Public holiday like Christmas on 25th and New Year on the 1st of January. This is like the biggest time of year where everyone is on holiday mood. That's why this is the highest visitor arrival. Then another thing, during this month, right, you can see the rate per night around KLCC, it will be no longer 300 plus. It will be easily 500 to 600. Why? Because they're actually using dynamic pricing. So which means that when there's high demand but the supply remains the same, right, they will increase the price. Actually, this apply quite often in tourism industry, especially flight too. For example, a lot of people prefer 2 p.m. right? Then the 2 p.m. flight, the price is actually more expensive compared to a 7 a.m. Why July to August is the second and third highest? So usually this timing in the another side of the world, it will be a summer break. So country like Europe country, China, India, Japan, they're having a summer break. So that's the time they will travel around. And where they will find? Yeah, Malaysia.
KLCC Ebook. If you're actually looking for Hana's Dawn Prestige Clubhouse, this whole project which is walking distance to KLCC, you should check this ebook out because this ebook will consist of all the net price, developer, PSF. Click the link down below. There's two links. One is WhatsApp, another is Google Form. You can click whichever convenient for you, and I'll do my best to reply you as soon as possible.
Top 20 visitor arrival to Malaysia by country. So the first one, definitely Singapore. I mean, like Singapore is just across a bridge, so they can just easily drive their car, come to JB, have a day trip and go back. So that's why you can see it's around 18 million. So this figure, I wouldn't say it's so significant because the barrier for them to entry to Malaysia is very easy. Just like Malaysian, go to Hat Yai, we just go across the custom, then we really reach. Indonesia, it's around 4 million because we are Southeast Asia, so it's very close. The flight is so definitely cheaper compared to further. Something to take note is on China and India. I mean, like China got the highest growth, like compare 2023 is around 1.6 million, but last year 2024 it increased to 3.7 million. The second highest growth will be India. In compare 2023 is around 700,000 plus only, but last year it had 1.3 million visitors arrived to Malaysia. That's almost 76% growth. So mainly why these two countries the highest growth also because of the free visa. Like China, they has like 90 days free visa, and India, they have 30 days free visa. So China actually past few months they actually extend the free visa another 5 years. So you can see it's a smart move by Malaysia. You should pay much more attention to these two countries because these two countries is the highest population in the world. Like India is the first, it's around 1.43 billion. And China is 1.41 billion. So imagine a huge amount of population over there. Like this few percent just come to visit to Malaysia, they will spend, voila, our tourism. Component of visitor expenditure. So this chart actually shows that when tourists come to Malaysia, where do they spend the money? So from here you can see that shopping got the highest percentage, it's around 37%. I mean, you come to country, definitely you come and spend. So that's where you contribute to shopping. Then accommodation is the second highest, it's around 18%. And the rest will be food and beverages, international air flight. Since we are more focused on KLCC property, right? Like, is it good to invest? Such tourists coming to here, pay attention on this. Like accommodation, actually contribute around 19.32 billion That's a lot. So it's like a second highest. So why is it so important? Because when tourists come to Malaysia, right, they can, if they have a tight budget, they can prefer not to go shopping, go splurge on any stuff, but they still need a place to stay for a night. So that's why this accommodation is like essential. It's like basic need for them. We can see that you invest in KLCC area. Like KLCC is not just a simple building, it's a landmark of Malaysia. Manchester United came to Malaysia, right? You can see that post like thank you to Malaysia for the fans. Oh, although I'm a Liverpool fans, yeah, I'm not MU. And you can see that put the picture of KLCC. And you know those player where they stay close to KLCC too. Although they have to travel to Bukit to play a football field, and they went to TRX for this marketing gimmick, publicity, and to Pavilion, but they stay right beside KLCC. Why? Because KLCC is a landmark of Malaysia. When you think of Malaysia, you think of KLCC. From here, we can see, according to the country, how much do they spend in Malaysia. And yeah, the first one definitely Singapore. You can just come a day trip. But actually, China is not far behind. Like, imagine China had to sit the flight come to here, but they actually spend around 20 billion in Malaysia. Yeah, although they have to sit the plane, not as simple as Singapore just drive a car, but China spend a lot here. 20 billion as compared in 2023, right? They only spent 8 billion. There's almost 135% increase, then followed by Indonesia, and the following will be India. It's around 6 billion, around 79% increase from 2023. So these two countries actually we have to pay more attention as we are moving forward to next year 2026. Malaysia truly Asia. So we can see that this amount will continue to increase. Average occupancy rate. So a lot of people ask, KLCC area, so many hotel, occupancy rate can go so high, meh? Yeah. So this is we break down to each of the state. Like, okay, start from Malaysia as an overall 14 state. 2023 is around 53% occupancy rate, which means like this. That's example, there are 10 hotel, 5 hotel get occupied. But in 2024 is around 55%, so that's increased from 2023. Break down to the state, we can see that Pahang got the highest occupancy rate. So this mainly can contribute from the Cameron Highland, and another thing is Genting. Although Genting is like seems like it's very near to KL, but actually it's located at Pahang. So Genting also a lot people in out frequently, very easy lah. Then the next would be Kuala Lumpur. 223 is around 60%. Then like 224 increased to 62.6. I mean 63% occupancy rate. But bear in mind, this is Kuala Lumpur, which means like whatever hotel in KL address is still considered in KL. So if you want a safer bet, you can use this occupancy rate over a month, which means like 1 month will be occupied 19 days. But you have to keep in mind which location of KL lah. If you compare to Cheras KL and KLCC KL, that's so much different. If you're looking for KLCC property, you should check this KLCC ebook, like no harm getting it. If you plan to have one, you can click the link down below, you can contact me and I'm willing to assist you. It definitely help a lot this channel. Hotel guests for 2024. These are the top 5 states that recorded the highest number of hotel guests. First one, definitely Kuala Lumpur. Second is Pahang. Third is JB. Fourth is Selangor. Fifth is Penang. So like as an overall in Malaysia, there's increase in 10% growth of hotel guests. From 2023 is around 93 million, and 2024 last year increased to 102 million. So there's almost 10% increase of hotel guests. Then in overall as a Malaysia, you can see foreigner guests actually increased 19.5%. And compared to domestic, it's around 5.8%. So usually we understood foreigner will be more because of the visa exempted. Malaysia is still considered cheap for them. And something to take note will be Kuala Lumpur got the highest, almost 21 million visitors. There's a reason for it. Even Manchester United come here, the farewell post for the fans, they put something KLCC, not TRX, not Merdeka 118. Although currently quite a lot of people know Merdeka 118 because of the movie. Yeah, that's good marketing. But somehow KLCC is still a landmark of Malaysia. Hotel and room supply by a state. In total, in whole Malaysia, right, there's almost 5,200 hotels with 343,000 rooms in total for definitely will increase from 2023 because we can see from the statistic that tourism in Malaysia is booming. State with the most hotel will be Kuala Lumpur. This cannot be denied. Somehow Kuala Lumpur is like its capital of Malaysia. KLCC located over there. Then the largest growth in Rome is Selangor, around 6.8%. Dive deep into Kuala Lumpur address. So for Kuala Lumpur address, we can see that for last year, 2023, domestic guests, I mean like Malaysian, will be around 9.7. Somehow it still increased from 2023, but for foreigner, there's huge increase from 8.7 million. It jumped to 12 million. Like within that 1 year, actually increased almost 40%. Kuala Lumpur is the middle of Malaysia. Everyone come to KL, then definitely will visit Kuala Lumpur and will visit KLCC because it's a landmark. I don't go so much detail because it will seem very confusing, so many numbers, right? But in conclusion, you can see Kuala Lumpur got the highest foreigner visitor. So the number don't lie. Malaysia will come almost 38 million international visitor in 2024. It's almost like 31% increase from 2023. The huge portion of them are landing to Kuala Lumpur, and KLCC is the top destination for them. KLCC is not just an iconic, but it's a landmark for Malaysia, able to capture the demand from domestic tourists and international tourists. If you find this video helpful, like and subscribe and share. It will definitely help this channel a lot. And if you're looking for KLCC property, don't miss out the KLCC ebook.